Ladies and gentlemen, we are live at the Arnold Fencing Classic 2020. We're about to see the gold medal match for the Y14 mixed foil event. On the left, we have Matthew Palma from Lewis Center, Ohio, fencing for CF and F. And on the right, Justice Cullivan, also from Columbus, Ohio, and CF and F. Guys, are we ready to fence? Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Streb, 14-time member of the U.S. Veterans World Championship fencing team here at the 2020 Arnold Fencing Classic. We've just begun the gold medal bout in Y14 mixed foil. On the right side, Mr. Justice Cullivan, who just scored a long attack, against Mr. Matthew Palma on the left side of the screen. Both of these fencers are from Columbus, Ohio, and both fence for Columbus Fencing and Fitness. Mr. Cullivan back at the end of the strip. If he goes off the end with both feet, he'd lose a touch. But he's moving forward now, taking a defensive position, then attacking out of it. But our fencing official sees that as a counterattack. Mr. Cullivan never really committed to the attack, so Palma ties it up 1-1. The attack, no. Counterattack, yes. Mr. Cullivan coming forward and then retreating and then starting an attack out of that retreat, trying to catch his opponent in preparation. That's an action that we see a lot of out of the Columbus Fencing and Fitness fencers. He did it again. This time he finished in a different line, but he got the touch. Palma looking to finish something, coming forward now. He's going to have to get his point extended. He did, but he was off target. This is foil. The target area, valid target area, is the silver lame. Everything else would be off target, resulting in a white light and a stoppage of the action. Series of blade control actions there, and our referee calls a halt, which is always the referee's discretion to do. Palma with the long action that's parried. Riposte arrives. Cullivan takes a 3-touch lead. Palma needs to come forward and score, but he's not ready. Gets caught again. Not sure what to do, and the attack into preparation arrives from Mr. Cullivan. That's Mr. Cullivan's game. Obviously, he steps forward, and it looks like he may try to finish something here, but what he likes to do is step forward, then retreat, catch the opposing fencer coming forward with the big preparation, then hit him. Palma tries a flick attack to the back. It's parried. And there's that attack into preparation, off target. And Mr. Palma's asking the referee to test his weapon. He thinks perhaps it's malfunctioning. The referee tests it. The light comes on. Nothing wrong with the weapon. Palma with a big preparation as he comes forward. He finishes, but he's off target. That big preparation can make him vulnerable to those attacks into preparation that we've seen so far out of Mr. Cullivan. Cullivan with the parry riposte, Palma with the blade control and finish, and he gets the touch. As sometimes happens in Y14, attack arrives. Mr. Cullivan just starting his attack, came forward, he stopped, then both fencers stood still, then he got off first. Palma pressing as he must. Big preparations. There's the finish, but off target. Sometimes off of those big preparations, it's difficult to have enough point control to be able to land the touch. We also see kind of a physical mismatch here, and you can get that in the Y14s. There's an attempted flick to the back. It doesn't work. Remise arrives one light, touch left. And Mr. Palma obviously has a reach advantage and a height advantage. But that doesn't always matter in foil where it's possible to parry effectively. Blade control by Palma, finishes, gets the touch. Mr. Palma still needs to come forward. He's still down by 2 touches. He's going to have to come forward and try to score some touches. That time, Mr. Cullivan, who knows that, was trying to hit an attack into preparation again. Cullivan coming forward as though he's going to finish. Will he, or is he looking to the attack into preparation just like that so he can parry it? The attack by Palma, parried by Cullivan, riposte no. Then a series of remises and off target. Now Mr. Cullivan wants to change his weapon, it looks like, or maybe he's just having some trouble with it. It looks like an issue with the body cord. The fencing official is trying to correct the problem. It could actually be that the connection between the body cord and the weapon has been disfigured. That sometimes will happen on those hard infighting actions, and the socket will bend over too far to the inside and impair the fencer's ability to hold the weapon. And it looks like that's what's going on. Mr. Cullivan has not yet surrendered the weapon, but he will have to if a repair can't be made. Well, I'm here with Maestro Paul Gerasi. He's been watching the action. Paul, we have this break, so perhaps you'd like to give us your impression of the action so far.
It's pretty interesting. We got to see Justice Cullivan fence yesterday, and you know, whenever he comes forward, he seems to displace his body. And you mentioned before he's a little shorter, but sometimes in foil that can actually be a good thing because he's harder to hit, and it's hard for Palma to really get his points on. Looks like we're going back to the action here.
I would agree with that entirely. The we sometimes call him the small target fencer. There's an attack into preparation by Palma that lands. It pulled it back to a 1-touch deficit. Mr. Palma takes control of the blade, then hits Mr. Cullivan. Cullivan didn't like the call, but that was a correct call. When Palma reaches up and takes the blade like that, he has an opportunity to finish off that. That time he's parried. This time he's off target. And there's the Prix de Fer finish. It looks like Mr. Palma's found something that is effective against Mr. Cullivan, that reaches up for the blade, takes control of it, and then looks for an opportunity to finish off of it. Cullivan changing tactics, going with the long attack. We have a request for video replay by Mr. Cullivan. He didn't like that call. Yes, he is asking for video, and so now our fencing official will consult the video replay to check the validity of his initial call. We have access to the video, but we can't get a real good image from it from where we're sitting.
Looked like there was a parry.
It
looked like there was a parry, but he seemed to wait before that riposte. So we're going to have to see if the referee says he waited too long.
Yes, it looks like Mr. Palma reached out and found the blade, but then there was a big hesitation. I think Mr. Cullivan thinks he hit him in preparation. And in fact, that's exactly how the fencing official sees it after consulting the video replay. All tied up, 7-7. Palma looking for that blade control so he can try to finish. If he doesn't get blade control, he tends to get parried. So he's looking to pick the end of the opponent's blade and then hit after the fencing official said that touch was scored after the fencers had passed. If they pass, a score cannot be touched or cannot be made. Palma looking to get control of the blade and finish. He does, but he's off target. Cullivan back at the end of the strip again. He can't go back much farther or he will lose a touch. We have reached the 1 minute break. 3 minutes of fencing time have expired. The fencers will be able to receive coaching and get some water. As I mentioned, I'm here with Maestro Paul Girassi, who's also watching the action. Maestro, what's your impression at this point?
Well, it looks like earlier on in the bout, Palma would come forward with an advance. And just because you're advancing doesn't mean you're attacking. If he comes forward with an advance that has no purpose, the referee's really interpreting that as a preparation, and Cullivan's been going into that. But since Palma switched that tactic up and went for that long attack, that seems to be working for him when he comes forward with that attack with purpose to make that score.
Yes, I would agree. And what he seems to be doing is trying to do what's called a prie-de-fer attack, a taking of the steel, where he's reaching out, he's taking the end of Cullivan's blade, and then he looks to finish off that. So he's displacing the blade a little bit, which makes it a little bit harder to do a counterattack or an attack into preparation.
Absolutely. Another interesting feature of this bout is we see that Justice Cullivan is very comfortable fighting on the end of the strip, and it really reduces Palma's momentum.
Yes, yeah. Some fencers like to do that, to be defensive, go back to the end of the strip. Occasionally, Cullivan will come forward. Now he's been chased in a big way by Palma, but he gets back. And there's an attempt attacking the preparation. How does the fencing official see it? He sees that as touch for the left. He did not think that was a big enough hesitation in the action to give Cullivan the right of way. So Palma has a one-touch lead. Cullivan comes forward with a long attack, remises off of it. Counterattack was off target there. Once a fencer misses, the right of way switches to the other fencer. Palma looks to finish, and he does. Oh, he said there were two actions there. Our fencing official said that Mr. Palma came forward and stepped forward, didn't really finish his attack, giving up the right of way. I thought that was a close call there.
It was close. I think that's one of those things that the referee has been conditioned to see when Palma comes forward without attacking. He just takes that step forward. Just because you're advancing doesn't necessarily mean you're attacking, although that one was close.
That was very close. That was a call that we would see typically in saber. In foil, there's a riposte. This time, Mr. Palma takes the blade, goes to finish off of it, but Cullivan picks it up with the riposte to hit, scores a touch. And now Mr. Cullivan has the one-touch lead. He's looking for that attack into preparation. He wants to he didn't get it. He wasn't able to do it, and he needed to step back a little bit more there. He's mad. He's upset with himself for not stepping back and making that short, and he gave up a touch, 9-9.
He's got to make sure he doesn't emotionally fall apart here. We're at a crucial juncture, tie score.
It would be nice if Mr. Cullivan, from his point of view, could hit an attack coming forward. Most of his touches have been defensive. Off target. That's a situation where, again, Mr. Palma reaches out, takes the blade. That shows control, and so then he has a fencing tempo to start his action. And Palma's trying to attack into it. There's a parry post by Palma, gets the one-touch lead. And that has been a problem for Mr. Cullivan. When he does try to do a long attack, he's had trouble landing it. If he gets behind by much more, he's going to have to. He's going to have to do more long attacks. That was a properly timed attack in a preparation. Mr. Palma took the blade, hesitated too long. Mr. Cullivan leaps out into preparation, gets the one light, gets the touch, ties it up. Now, if Cullivan could hit coming forward, it would change the complexion of the bout. But he's not able to do it.
Well, at this point in time, I think fencers try to do what they do the best.
Well, there's a remise. Palma attacked. He missed. Cullivan missed on his counterattack, and the remise lands. That was a big touch for Mr. Palma. Oh, there's that attack into preparation again. Mr. Cullivan is very good with that, and there he gets one light on it. Mr. Palma needs to be more careful coming forward.
He needs to lead with his point to convince the referee it's his attack as well.
That would be one way. He could be more careful with his footwork coming forward, shorten up the steps, be more in control. He's taking big steps. Cullivan looking to finish. There comes a running attack, but the counterattack off target stops the action.
And I think we really saw the height differential in that attack, didn't we, Joe?
Yes, that was Mr. Cullivan having difficulty reaching the fencer who was taller and with a long counterattack. Attack off target. Cullivan going back to his bread and butter, the attack into preparation. That is his game. Palma will be looking to finish here, but he missed. He did a lot of preparation, then he missed as Mr. Cullivan stepped forward with the counterattack. So Cullivan with the one-touch lead. He won't be attacking here, I know that. Oh, look, he does, though. Amazing.
Cullivan really made him miss on that last one, though. And it looks
me,
like Cullivan made that
Oh,
attack.
he called that. I
Yeah.
thought that was off target because Cullivan missed, and then he restarted. I guess he thought Palma was doing nothing in response there. Well, now Mr. Palma has to go back to those pre-to-fair long attacks and land some of them. That time he tries, but he's off target.
You called it, Joe.
He thinks he was on target, but the white light came on, and the fencing officials must go by the lights. Flick attack to the back, off target. Another attack, attempted attack to the back, off target. There's a straight attack, and our fencing official not sure on that one who controlled that action. It looked to me like Mr. Palma landed that. There was some noise from blade contact, but it looked like what's sometimes called a malparé. Well, he sees out our fencing official saw that as a good parry, meaning that Mr. Cullivan had closed the line of attack and controlled the blade contact. Cullivan with a long attack off target. And Mr. Cullivan only needs one touch to be the gold medalist, and he can take some chances here if he wants to. It looks like he wanted to score coming forward. Palma looking to use his counterattack. But there is the touch, the long attack. First one hit by Mr. Cullivan, and he's the gold medalist here in the Y14 mixed foil event at the 2020 Arnold Fencing Classic.